Another video, another Dark Ops for you guys. I will be going over the fastest strategy to get around 100, and with this strategy, if you was to roughly follow it, it will take you around 2 to 3 hours in total to get it done. Now, if you was to just wing it and go train and spawn, that will take you 4 to 5 hours. So it's your choice whether you want to follow my method or just follow it roughly and then go train and spawn. So you don't have to follow it exactly, but learn it if you want. And let me get into the loadout. Oh yeah, I want to add this can be done solo and without the use of any gobblegums. But if you have gobblegums, feel free to use them. Now for the loadout, on your screen I've made a chart for the things you are going to need if you was to follow along with me. Mutant injections become a crucial role in this, so if you haven't got it unlocked, I strongly suggest you go get it unlocked before you attempt this. But I presume everyone is a higher level, so without further ado, let's get into the game. Quickly before I get into it, the method I'm following in this video is roughly based off the round 100 Liberty Falls world record speedrun by this guy on your screen right now. I don't know if he wants to be, you know, shouted out and stuff, but I'm doing it anyway, so shout outs to him. But I am going to be adapting this to make it easier so other people can understand it. Just to mention as well, make sure you have the GS45s as your zombie build, akimbo that is, and for your loadout you can start off with any gun, it doesn't really matter. Start off with anything that you're comfortable with and go into solo, Liberty Falls, and then let's go. Okay, when you spawn in, turn on the rampage inducer. Just like what I usually say, it is optional, you do not have to have that on, but it makes it go a little bit more faster. And step 1 to keep it as simple as possible is to get Pack-a-Punch done. So I'll cut to when I get Pack-a-Punch done. So I recommend before you leave spawn to pick up your GS45s from the wall by here and go and Pack-a-Punch them first. So the next thing to do for step 2 is get the jet gun. I'm sure most of you guys know how to get the jet gun for free. So step 2 is get the jet gun, but also pick up PhD flopper once you get the points, because you don't want to be using the GS45s without PhD flopper. I don't know if I've already mentioned it, but do not open the bank. Whatever you do, do not open the bank. So don't get Juggernog yet. You should be fine to not have Juggernog yet. It's only because on round 60 or 60 and above, that room is going to be very, very helpful. So you don't want to be opening the doors because it messes up the strategy later on.
Is that a design for a weapon? Looks like you already found some of the parts.
So at this point, you should be having the GS45s Pack-a-Punched and the jet gun. What you want to do is come to the bank roof. Open this barricade here. Most of you already are aware of this area. Come to this like wall here and open the door here, which opens the ice cream shop. And this is where the round 60 strat begins, but not yet. So go back up to the bank roof, come over here to this zip line where it goes across back to spawn, and then stand about here. This here is now the main strategy from whatever round you're on to round 60. The reason why it's here is because there's an ammo crate that you can just pick up ammo regularly. The zombie spawns are very fast. Make sure you have the rampage inducer on now if you turned it off for the first couple of rounds. Yeah, watch out for the mangler cannons because they will knock you off, and that's why I recommended that augment where you don't take any full damage. So just be careful. This strategy does get very hectic at some points, so if you need to, drop off the roof, rotate around, and then go back. So I recommend buying stims. I didn't have it in the chart, but that's because you can either have Casimir devices, stims, or decoys. Before you try this method, I do advise you to get Jug and or Speed Cola if you have enough, because more than likely you will go down. Yeah, I would say the Abominations is probably the only problem with doing this strategy, but because you're on the bank roof, it should be easy to just run about. Black Ops 6 really does something completely different with zombies and makes it so everywhere has pretty much fast spawn rates. But this area here is probably one of the best because it's a camping strategy, and we all love camping strategies. It's just easier for the player. The things I recommend you to pick up first is probably armor. As you're seeing, I'm getting hit quite a lot and it's becoming a bit of an issue. So armor is probably one of those things you want to get first over anything else. But I don't want to confuse you guys too much with too much information, so I won't really say any more. But that's the strategy you want to be using until about round 40. But at round 40, I'm going to tell you a different strategy in the same area to kill the zombies, because the GS45s will drop off in damage at round 40. Alright, now that an Abomination has spawned in, when you're on round 30 and above, drops become more frequent, so using a mutant injection or a chopper gunner and instantly take out the Abomination by continuously slapping it with your mangler arm, and it should take him out after some hits. easy as that. Most of you guys probably already know about that, but just to remind a few that might not have any idea how to instantly kill abominations. Okay, it's now round 40. So you should have had your chances to pack-a-punch your jet gun. This is going to be the second method, where you're tap firing the jet gun. Now, if you have Vulture, as you can see now, I'm now in the smoke. So when you're in the smoke of the Vulture augment, it gives you a little chance to build up that jet gun ammo again. What you want to be doing is just tap firing the jet gun. It's very, very easy. It's not hard to do. And when you feel like you need to use it, use the alternative trigger mode and fire the jet gun. Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit more tricky because your GS45s are going to be pretty bad now. So keep to the tap firing method. Use your frenzy guard when you need to, and it should be pretty good. Again, I only have Pack-a-Punch 2 on my jet gun, so it's not going to be as good as if it was Pack-a-Punch 3, but you get the idea. Rewind it if you need to. And this is the next method that you're going to be doing until at least round 60, so we'll cut to when I get to round 60. Because I was coming up with like different ideas for like different strategies, round 60 was actually recorded 2 days ago. So, last thing. It's a Vermin round. I recommend going down here and actually using this strategy now if you wasn't doing it before, because it'll just make it go a lot more quicker than being on the roof, as I said before. Be careful though, be very careful. So keep your distance, run around, and you should be good. So now that you're on round 60, or roughly whenever you want to leave that camping spot because it gets a bit too hectic, you come down to the bank room, which I showed you how to open up. Now, as soon as you're in that room and the round's flipped, run and grab a mutant injection from the crafting table just outside, and then run all the way back into the room. Now here, you want to just keep firing at this barricade here, or window, until you start getting hit quite a lot from the back, then use your mutant injection. But once you're in the mangler, what you want to do is keep firing at this window here when they keep spawning, because this will quickly kill the zombies that keep spawning, and swing your melee when you need to, because they will get in the way of the other manglers that spawn in. So keep firing at this window when you're in the mangler, swing when you need to, and that's pretty much it for the rest of the run. It does get a little bit more tougher on round 90 because of the increase of the zombies mainly, and your mutant injection is going to run out and you will still have some zombies to kill. But I'll show you again for another round, so I just grabbed another mutant injection. I just need to kill this last mangler. And it's the same even when an abomination spawns in. You want to just keep focusing on this window here and then use your mutant injection when you need to. So I'm going to use it now because I nearly, died. And then just keep firing at this window. It's a bit tricky when manglers are all over you. Just swing your melee when you need to, and yeah. And you should go through rounds really fast whilst doing this. So the reason why you use this strategy now on round 60 is because you're getting a lot more salvage. And on those rounds that I told you to camp up on the roof, you're not getting enough salvage to do this strategy. So, you've run out of salvage. Okay, if you've done the vault Easter egg, I recommend going in the vault and opening up one of the deposit boxes, just in case it might give you something. Nope, it doesn't. The main method now is to go back to where we were doing the old method, back on the roof. So the problem with doing this is that it gets very, very hectic up here because there's just going to be a ton of zombies. They're going to be tanking health. There's going to be a ton of manglers. They're going to be tanking health. So it's going to be very, very dangerous. So for a lot of this, you're going to be damaging them with the jet gun like usual, but you're going to jump down more because you won't be able to stay there as long as normal. And this is just to build up more salvage again so you can go back inside the bank. So this is the problem with the salvage. If you don't have enough salvage to buy that mutant injection, you're going to be having to run around until you get the salvage back up again. But this is how to get to around 100. You'll eventually get it, and I'll probably cut to when I get to around 100. So this should be the last round before the round 100. There we go, round 100. This should take, I don't know if I've already mentioned this, but this should take around 2-3 hours. But obviously with save and quits, you can just save it, come back like another day or later on. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate the support. Subscribe, like, bye.